Hi, I'm Peggy Kelly, and this is Good Morning Santa Paula. It's Thursday, October 22nd. I had to look at the calendar. And we're here today with John Marquez, who's the Executive Director of the Santa Paula Chamber of Commerce. And he's going to talk about filming that's being done downtown, and we'll dabble in what's going on with businesses and COVID. And welcome, John. Always great to see you.
Great to see you, Peggy. Thanks for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Whenever you need to get anything across, just call on us. You know, what can I say? So
Sure.
We've got Mayans in the downtown is what's going on, correct? We've got filming of a very popular television show.
Yes, about a few weeks ago, the FX series Mayans MC scouted Santa Paula, and they were looking at doing their season 3 here in town. They toured downtown. They liked the look of it, and so they came back about a week and a half ago and said they wanted to film in downtown. So, which is great for our city. It's a series, like I said, season 3. They want to shoot it in Santa Paula. It's going to be Santa Paula will be a fictitious town called Santo Padre. Santo Padre. So they like the fact that there's the SP on the mountain, so it kind of ties into it. But it's so in the background, but it's a fictitious border town, and that's the basis of their season 3.
And you mean the border on Canada? You mean a Mexican border town?
Mexican border, yes. And so I have personally never seen the show. I've seen it's a spin-off of Sons of Anarchy, which I've seen a handful of episodes there. So I really didn't know what the whole premise of the show is. And so in about a week and a half, we, the chamber along with the city had to kind of put this all together. And being that it's a large production, it's a lot of work that goes into it. And so what, they're here. They're going to be here through tomorrow. They spent the entire week here. It's something that's really needed in our community, and so it's a whole learning process for us, being that it's a series. You get a movie, you get a commercial. It's a one-day thing. They're in and out on some things, but this is a larger production that's going to be here for over the next 3 to 6 months. So it's something that we're trying to learn as a chamber and as a city on how to manage this properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely. Notice there's a lot of activity in the downtown. That's mainly where they're doing their shooting, is in the downtown area.
Yeah.
And I know it's a very popular show. So, and you mentioned it's a spring off of Sons of Anarchy, I guess.
Yes.
Which I want to give a local plug. Bill Lucking, who was in Sons of Anarchy, was one of the co-founders of the Santa Paula Theater Center. So there you go.
Yes, and I heard he used to live on Santa Paula Street too, right?
Lived right on Santa Paula Street.
Yep.
He used to have a great view of the SP on the mountain. I mean, what more do you want,
I remember.
But anyway, and maybe you could explain to the public too that they don't understand, because unless they're a merchant, they wouldn't know. But the movie companies, they have to compensate the merchants. Go ahead and tell us what movie companies have to do when it comes to things like that.
Yeah, the chamber, the city asked the chamber to take over as the business liaison for the community. And so what we've done is we've actually gone, Beverly Ruiz from Parks and Rec Department is overseeing the filming. And so what we did over this last year, we rewrote the process of how we do filming to become ease some of the processes, to change some things, to adapt to COVID. So we had to put COVID guidelines as well. So and we kind of had to match what the filming companies are doing. So we lined all that up, and so I'm still learning. I've been a year at doing this now, and it's a learning process. But just so the public knows, when a company comes in, they scout first for anywhere from a week to 2 weeks to a couple months, and then once they come in and they decide on a location, they apply for an application. So once the application through the city is placed, it filters out to all the different departments. And when a company comes in, they give you a basic premise of what the show is going to be. They don't give you a whole lot of details. It's just, here's kind of the broad view of what we're doing. And that's pretty much all what's required when they put an application in. So once that happens and the applications get set up, then the city contacts the chamber to work with the film companies to go in and talk with all the businesses involved. So what the chamber and the city has is a minimum amount that each business receives. So that's recommended to the film companies, and they're more than accommodating for that. They come in and they know going in what they're going to do, how long they're going to be here, and they compensate fairly. And we're there to make sure that they get compensated, fairly with what our recommendations are, and it fits the criteria what the city's expectations are. We're here to facilitate the expectations of the city. So once we do that, they come in, they negotiate, and each business has the opportunity to negotiate their fees. We don't do that. The city doesn't do that. It's up to the business owners. We're there.
Between the business owner and the filming company.
Yeah, between the business owner and the filming company. Yes, and we're there to just help. We help guide them. We kind of offer some suggestions, and we really explain to the businesses that when they come in, here's what they're going to kind of look. We're looking at the minimum, but it's your opportunity to also negotiate with them. So we're coaching them on how to negotiate with them as well. Yeah, because sometimes, you have a large company that comes in like this one that offers a really substantial amount of money, and you may get a commercial that comes in that doesn't have a lot of money. So it's just making them understand the process of this. So once the company comes in, we negotiate with everybody, and then we verify that they've taken care of each business. And at that point, the city application is finalized, and then it gets processed the application gets processed. So, and I know I've been asked the question is like, where does the money go when the film company comes in? The city gets all the money and all this and that, and that's not the case. The city gets compensated for the services that they request,
including police,
any other staffing, the processing of all the stuff. It's just like if you're going to have an event or something else. It's exactly the same process. And then they do rent out parking lots for this shoot. They're using Harding Park, the entire lot. It's a large production, and a few other lots within the city. So that's how the city gets compensated. It's basically for services. The city doesn't really make a lot of money on that. It's very minimal what they actually profit off of it. It's just paid for services.
For services provided.
Yeah, where the real money comes in is the businesses and the individual homes that they use. These companies come in and they really provide a big economic boom for our businesses.
Plus the fact, plus the fact in this case, the businesses are allowed to stay open.
Yes, every shoot that they come in, they're required to keep. We require them to keep the businesses open, and only the time they close is when they're actually doing the shooting, if necessary. But a lot of times they don't have to. They work around them. The film companies have been more than courteous about this, but filming is a huge economic boom for our city. This company alone, I'm estimating this whole season, just off top of my head, they're going to drop maybe between $150,000 and $200,000 economic impact in our community for just the businesses and for what they shop in there, in the stores, and it's huge money, especially right now with COVID. So we've been up and down Main Street talking to businesses. It's myself and two of my other staff people. And we go out there, and we've been out there daily. We have somebody there now talking to businesses, making sure they're okay, and then letting them know the scheduling and how everything's working, and assisting them if they have any questions at all. But the businesses are really appreciative because they are getting compensated very well here. And that's kind of what we're trying to do as a chamber, is we're trying to promote more filming here. We've had 3 filmings, or actually 4 since I've been here, and it's brought a good amount of money to our community. And on top of that, they buy services. They use people. They were looking for welders yesterday, so we're getting them local welders. They're buying some supplies in our local markets. They bought some hats. They went and purchased a bunch of series hats. And they're spending money downtown. So it's not just compensating the businesses; it's also using the services we have within the community. I know they buy an ad for the paper. So that's a plus too. So it's a huge,
and that informs the community of what's happening.
Yes, yeah.
Letting them know what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, and to so it's a big economic boost for us. But I do want to address about the information and how we get it out there. Traditionally, that we require that they put an ad in the paper and notification, and it's a basic notification to let them know that there's filming. They don't put a lot of details generally. They put a basic premise of what the filming is. The details change constantly. From the time they actually put the ad in that paper to the time they actually started shooting, there was probably 10, 12 different changes.
Yes.
And they notify us every time there's a change. But I know one big concern was when they started, there's these Army vehicles that are here. There's Border Patrol vehicles are here. So and I know there's been some talk about about what's happened with having those here. And I know there's a concern. There's a real concern in the community when you see Border Patrol vehicles here. And so to address that, the minute we had no idea that was happening. They didn't notify us. And then the minute that happened, Dan Singer, the city manager, and myself had a conversation, and we went and addressed it and put a notification out through the chamber, through the city. And so we contacted several organizations that work with some of our community that shows concern, and let them know as well, to let people know, yeah, this is only for a film, and this is what and we did the best we could to try and do that. Out of that, though, what I learned is we've got to get better to communicate to the public. And that's something I am going to address with the city. I think we both share the same thought process, is that, when a film company comes in, we got to make sure we cover all bases in how we do this. It's got to be in English and Spanish. We've got to notify the public sooner than later. Being that this was about a week and a half turnaround, it was really hard to get that out there. But for future going forward, we're going to make sure we do our due diligence to get it out to the community and let them know, this whole thing with these vehicles, we didn't know till they pulled up with them. And it was
yeah.
But we moved on it as fast as we could. So we're learning. It's a learning process. There's a lot of different guidelines with COVID for the film companies. So there's a lot of moving parts now, and so we have to make sure that we cover as much as we can. And anytime there's a change, we got to let the public know. It's only fair that we do that for them, and we'll do the best we can with it. We can't cover everything, but the things come up last minute.
It's a learning experience.
Exactly.
I mean, we've never had this with the filming we've had in the past, and of course, they've done a lot of filming over the years in Santa Paula, as you're aware, and I know, they even had things going down the street,
Yes.
all sorts of things for the Adams family. So, and just tons and tons of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think this is the first time that it's actually caused any controversy to the extent that it did create a certain amount of fear in the community.
Yes.
Or worry, I should say, or concern, or whatever. And that came completely off the wall as far as them pulling in with those vehicles and everything.
Yeah, and that was a real concern to both the chamber and the city, and we addressed it as fast as we could. And we know going forward, they are going to be here again. They're going to shoot 2 or 3 more times in the next 3 to 6 months, and it would probably be the same kind of setup. And we will address that, and we'll start asking the right questions with them and future filming going forward as far as what they're going to bring into the community based on the stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a great idea. And we've all worked with the film companies for years, and things do change, and the notices they put in the paper are just kind of the basic outline of what they're going to be doing, what streets are affected. They don't go into detail. They don't say, like with Leave It to Beaver movie, we're going to have a helicopter like it's landing in front of what then was the chili hut or anything like that. It's a whole lot of fun, but and also a lot of the filming too used to provide employment for people also as background or eating props, as somehow they're called at times, as actors and things like that. Now, how would you prevent this from happening again? I mean, you and I talked a little bit, and I said maybe film companies should have on hand just those magnetic vehicle signs that maybe they could put a generic message about this is not what it looks like type of a thing. I mean, how do you combat that? Because there's always going to be somebody out there that doesn't know, no matter how hard you try to inform everyone, there'll be somebody. But I think it's excellent by going through the different organizations. I think that was an excellent idea.
Yeah, and I think for future, that's a great suggestion about getting some kind of magnetic stickers to put on there. And that's something I think we could actually do too as a chamber, is maybe invest some fun, get some funds to buy them and just have them where it just says for filming purposes or something, and we can put them around town.
They're not that expensive.
No, and even have signs that we can put on the street that just say, film shoot and maybe the week before to let people know. There was a concern with some of the store closing signs on the businesses, and even some of the business owners were kind of surprised that they put those up there. They were notified of it, but I think until they actually saw it on their window, it showed some concern. And I know some of the public was kind of like, these stores are closing. And I know with COVID, it's a real concern, and so it was upsetting to me to see some of that too. And I was just like, wow, I said, we need to tackle this and handle this correctly.
Absolutely. And I know a couple of people said, well, they just made Santa Paula look so bad as far as, like Nogales, I guess. Somebody said it looked like Nogales. They'd been to Nogales. And it was like, listen, it's a movie set,
Exactly. Yeah.
We've had them come in before and make us look like Pasadena, I mean, it's a music set. Not that Pasadena has anything on Santa Paula, but you know what I mean.
We're much better. So, but no, there's a lot of concern. We are addressing them, and we're going to talk with the film company after and make some suggestions for future, and just make sure we're doing everything we can to inform the public and kind of ease some of the questions. And I know there's always going to be something on every film shoot, as we said.
Absolutely.
So, but what we're doing, we can. We're getting better every day at it, and that's something that we're the positive side of all this. It's a huge economic impact for our community. Mm-hmm. We're promoting filming. We're trying to get as much filming as we can in here. That's an instant way of helping our businesses. So we're getting there. So, and that's what I'm doing as a chamber. I'm reaching out to these location managers. I've had a conversation with somebody from Disney the other day to try and promote it, because this is a Disney production. So we're talking about future projects here. The thing about COVID, film companies can't travel. So they're looking at stuff local. So we're trying to promote them to get into Santa Paula, and we have all these great things to offer. So they're looking at this. So we're doing what we can to promote. And I really hope the public is receptive to it. The fans had a great time yesterday. The star of the show came out and took pictures with them and did videos, spent a lot of time with them. So it was a lot of fun there yesterday. So they've been very accommodating. They're very, so they're very thankful that they're all back to work, and they're happy to be in Santa Paula, and they want to come back, and they know that they're guests here. And they're really trying to help our community, because they do understand that it's helping not only promoting the community, but it's also economically helping us too.
Absolutely. And well, I'm glad to hear, and I think that clears up a lot of questions, and it certainly helps prepare for them. Speaking of COVID, how are things going with businesses reopening, and any other information you might have on that? I mean, we went to we had a little loosening of our restrictions. So now I guess restaurants can have 25% inside seating as long as they're registered with the county. Yeah. And I think the gyms can have 10%, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, exactly.
So it seems. And and I'm very impressed though with the outside dining. I want that to stay even when they open up 100%, which they will.
Yeah, we've the city and us and chamber are having conversations about the future of that. Even if we don't have it through at a certain point, we're looking at bringing it back for the future. Mm-hmm. So that's maybe during the summer or spring. So we're I don't know the city's plans for it yet, but I know they're going to continue it for now. Including still the closure of Davis Street. I know there's been concern with Davis Street, but it's kind of a safety factor for the seating at Rabelais. It needs to be there because it's just a dangerous turn right there. And there's benches there that are for all the restaurants, additional seating there. And we're going to start bringing back some more. We tried it with having some vendors there, and we're looking at adding some more local vendors here, some home-based vendors. We're looking at doing that in a couple weeks again. And just making sure we follow the proper guidelines and stuff, and just give people other opportunities to shop downtown as well. So The first one was very successful. They had a lot of people downtown, really boosted all the businesses and the restaurants. So we're trying to find some really good use for that area. And we're getting there. We just had to wait till kind of all the guidelines lifted. The county's moving in a positive direction, so we just got to keep practicing the social distancing, keep wearing our masks, and Santa Paula is doing a really good job at that. I've been following all the guidelines. I've been around downtown constantly over the last few weeks, and people are doing their part. And so really appreciative of all of our citizens doing what they can do to help keep it moving along.
Absolutely, and of our businesses of being so accommodating, and I mean, even just service businesses, like most of our banks are open now, and
Yes.
we've got, I guess, do you know of any other than one that are still closed? I don't know any that are closed other than one. I mean, and I don't mean closed for business, closed, you can't come into the actual physical building.
Yeah, I think only one so far. I think everybody else is pretty much open.
Yeah.
And that's, so, but for the most part, they're all accommodating. They have all the protocols in place. It's great to see that all of our businesses have the proper protocols. They have the sanitation stuff, and we're checking with them periodically to make sure if they need any supplies, we have supplies for them, whatever we can do to help them. So, and the city's done a fantastic job going out and talking to the businesses as well.
Yeah.
I see them out there all the time. They're making sure that they're being well taken care of. If they have any questions, they're addressing them. So the city's doing a fantastic job of doing the outreach as well. We're all trying to help each other, and we're doing a good job. So yeah.
Actually, I even had the county come in and do a mini inspection to make sure that we had the hand sanitizer up front and the masks and the signs. They gave us more signs though that they wanted us to hang on. But I mean, it's all friendly and everything, and it's a wonderful. Of course, thank goodness the cleaning police haven't been here yet.
You just don't let them in the back. There you go. Keep them out front.
Hopefully, they'll put me in a neat jail cell.
There you go. There you go.
But it really is. I mean, and I think I see a turning point too. I think that we're getting closer to reopening, and I think people realize that the closer we get, the more careful we have to be. So
yes, exactly. It's not going to go away anytime soon. We just got to keep doing our thing. So
it's too bad because we've lost a lot of our fun things that we always do around this, the holiday season, the Labor Day parade, the Halloween parade, the Christmas parade, but we are going to have a wonderful drive-through Halloween for kids over at Harding Park that the city and the chamber and service clubs and organizations have sponsored for a week from Friday. So so they're really coming across, especially for the kids. That's what it's all for.
Yeah, we're all thinking outside the box, and we're already starting to plan events for next year. So we're hoping to bring back the Summer Street Festival next June and a few other things, and maybe not to the same capacity, but we're trying to be creative and think about some other things.
Absolutely.
So
it seems like it's a long ways away. So let's hope when it's here, it's all just a bad memory as far as.
Yeah, it's all good. We're moving forward. So
okay, listen, John, wonderful seeing you. Please do come back and keep us updated on how's it going with the movie companies and all that. Because like you said, they're going to be back, and we're delighted. And I know everybody's going to come, take care of all that. Is there anything I should have asked you today that I didn't, or any other comment you'd like to make, or an issue to address?
No, I think, I asked the public as they're filming, just be courteous to the company. They're like I said, they've been more accommodating than ever for us, and have fun. It's a good time in Santa Paula for filming. And so, amongst all the stuff that's going on, this is a positive for our community, and it's a great tour. It's a great economic boom for us, and we just gotta enjoy what we're doing right now. And it's really helping our small businesses. So everybody, please keep shopping our businesses, keep frequenting our restaurants. It's really helping support them. As you can see, we really haven't lost a lot of businesses because we have a lot of support within the community. So just keep it up. I mean, we really appreciate it through the chamber, all the citizens going out and supporting everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And bravo. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, thank you so much. Always a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks,
And
Peggy.
we'll talk again soon, and we'll make sure we wear matching shirts again, you know?
Send me the memo. There you go. All right. Thanks, Peggy.
Thank you so much. Once
right.
again, I'm Peggy Kelly with the Mighty Santa Paula Times, and this we were speaking today with John Marquez, who's the Chamber's the CEO, Executive Director, whatever else, of the Santa Paula Chamber of Commerce, and we appreciate him coming by. Be sure to watch this on. You can go to kadytv.net, and if you do, go YouTube it and be sure to subscribe, and which is free. Or you can also be watching this on Channel 10, the city, government channel, Spectrum Channel 10, and they run these on a regular basis. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, John, for joining us. Good morning, Santa Paula, business update, and everybody stay safe out there. Wash your hands, social distance, and send money. That's all I can say. But anyway, thank you so much. And nice seeing you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.